So Thanksgiving is tomorrow, and it's time when we really focus on family. And for me, you may not know this, some of you probably do, I'm sure. About 3 years ago, my brother, he locked himself in the garage and started his lawnmowers and killed himself. And I've really been thinking a lot here lately about my brother, and for some reason I feel like the Lord is impressed for me to share through this venue, just talk about suicide. And I was doing a little bit of research, and like there are 30,000 suicides a year in America, and it's the 8th leading cause of death. Like, that's crazy. It's the 8th leading cause of death. And statistically, they say that somewhere between 40 and 80% of adults at one time or another in their life have thought about suicide. And so I was thinking about that and said, you know what? I fall within that 40 to 80%. There have been times in my life where I've thought about that. Certainly when I was younger, there were periods that I contemplated it, and never have been really serious or at a low point in my life where it got into an unhealthy place. But with that being said, isn't it kind of unhealthy to even think about it? I think there's something in us that, like, when something goes awry, when something's wrong, when something doesn't work out the way we want it to, there's something about us that's fallen that just makes us want to quit. And I've thought a lot about my brother. Like, my brother, like, he was a great dude. He was so fun. And such a, like, if you knew my brother Jeff, he was a joy to be around. And he had a period in his life where he was part of my ministry where he was just crushing it with how he was ministering to people. And really what happened to him is I think, like, he got in a down spot. He coupled that with some chemical dependency, and he isolated himself. He was depressed, and he slipped off into a place of despair, and he saw no hope, so he took himself out. And I think about the church, and I think about the writer of Hebrews says, don't forsake the assembling of yourselves. And I think that's what my brother did. It's like he got out of community. And I even find in my own self when I start to feel down a little bit, that if I get around people, that it just does something for me. Even today, like coming in, and I've been focused and studying, working in the office all morning. I came into Starbucks and I just had an interaction with a lady I didn't even know, and there was something about my spirits that were lifted by interacting with her. And so that's powerful. Like, I don't really know why, like, the Lord has told me to share this. I mean, maybe you're a person who you've lost somebody to suicide like I have, and I can remember when my brother died, like, when that happened, I had a nightmare that morning. Like, when he was taking his life, I kind of feel like the Lord may have been trying to wake me up from a dream, and I wonder if I'd have got up and prayed when I had that nightmare, would I've been prompted to call him. And so, like, I live with that. But I want to encourage you, if you're a person who knows somebody who has, and you feel like a sense of responsibility, I don't feel responsible for what my brother did. Like, that was his decision. He knew that I loved him, and so I don't bear any responsibility of that. And I would encourage you, like, if you're a person who has been close to someone who's committed suicide, don't blame yourself. Like, that's not on you. That's on that individual. And so don't live that way. Like God doesn't expect us to live that way. And then, like, second, to the person, like, maybe it's you. And maybe you're the person who, like, you feel like things, like, you're in such despair that there's no way out, and it's the only solution for you. Like, don't stay there alone. Open up. Tell somebody. Just tell somebody how you're feeling, and you'll find that's the exact medicine that you need to pull you out of it. Like suicide, it knows no boundaries. It impacts the rich, it impacts the famous, it impacts the poor. Like, it knows no class, it knows no race. It's just an attack upon humanity. And the only thing I believe, the only cure that I believe, that the only hope for a person who's contemplating suicide is community. It's like, just be open. Like, if you came and you told me, like, hey man, like I'm that down, I'm not gonna think you're a crazy person. For goodness sakes, 40 to 80% of adults, they say, somewhere between that number, have contemplated it at some time or another. So I get that. I get life is hard, but open up and you'll find that there's healing in just the very fact that you've opened up and shared with someone else. And if you suspect that someone is like if you're worried about them, they say one of the best things you can do is just ask them. Just ask the person, hey, are you thinking about doing that? And that can help them tremendously, because they know somebody cares. So you can be as direct as just come right out. I do that when I'm working with people who are going through crisis of a relationship or something, and I could tell they're really down. I'll just point blank ask them, are you thinking about harming yourself? Are you thinking about, taking your life? And I can tell that there's power in me asking the question, and it kind of lifts them, that they know that I care enough. But man, I really don't know why. Like this week, the Lord wants me to share this, but I really feel in my heart that's exactly what He wants me to share. And I think we need to have our eyes open, we need to care, and we need to realize that it's okay to have junk in our lives, to be at a place where things suck. Like, it's okay to be there. And everybody around you who appears to have it together, everyone is struggling with something. And God has designed us in such a way that He wants us to walk together in the midst of that struggle. So know you're loved today. Know that God is for you. And as He's for you, He's put people around you that care. And maybe the first step toward the healing in your journey is being vulnerable enough to open up and admit that you're struggling. Have a great week. Have a great Thanksgiving, and we'll see you next time.